Hi, I'm Chuck. Welcome to my channel. In this video, I will show you how to install VirtualBox Hypervisor on a MacBook. If you don't know what a VirtualBox is, it's just a piece of software that you can install on your host machine that will help you run and manage various virtual machines or VMs, running different operating systems like Windows or Linux. You can even run any ISO image for other devices like firewall. Installing VirtualBox provides you with an environment to easily spin up VM and play around with it and test different things. As for the system requirements for the host machine, it really depends so much on how many VMs you plan to install on top of the VirtualBox. You can see on this page that the system's requirements for VirtualBox itself is quite low. But the more resources you can make available on the host machine, the better the performance of the VMs you will eventually install on top of the VirtualBox. I would say about 8 GB of RAM and about 40 GB of disk space is a good number to start with. So let's see how we can install VirtualBox on macOS. You can pull up any browser of your choice. I will use Safari. On Google, search for VirtualBox. The first link on the list should be the one to use, but make sure the root domain is virtualbox.org like you can see here. Click on the link and this takes us to this page. The latest VirtualBox will show up here. As at the time of recording this video, it's version 6.1. So I'm going to click on the hyperlink, which will take us to the next page. Over here, you can see different packages for different operating systems. Since we are installing VirtualBox on macOS, we will select the second option, which is OXX host. By the way, if you are installing VirtualBox on Windows host, select the first option, that's this one, and the installation process is similar, so you can as well follow along here. In this case, I will click on the OXX host. It's downloading, as you can see here. The download is complete. I'm going to go to the Finder, and the file we just downloaded is this 125 MB file. So I'm going to double click on it. Let's wait for it to come up. It's verifying the system's requirements. Alright, so over here, I'm going to double click on this package here, and this warning comes up warning us about the software. I'm going to allow it, okay, and then continue. You can see up here how much space this is going to take on the computer. Just less than 260 MB, just very small. Like I mentioned, the VirtualBox itself doesn't take up so much space. What takes up the space is the virtual machine that we will eventually install on top of the VirtualBox. So let's install. It's asking for my password. I need to enter my password. This is a password for the MacBook itself. And I will click install software. I'm using macOS Big Sur, and you can see the warning here that reboot is required. So I'm going to say OK. Installation was successful. I'm going to close this and then move the installation package to trash. Before I go on and reboot the machine, I want to call your attention to an error you may run into in the course of the installation. If the installation fails in your own case, you may need to go to System Preferences and approve the installation. I will show you. Just go to System Preferences here and go to Security and Privacy. On the General tab, if the installation failed, you are going to see a message here saying that you should approve the installation of the VirtualBox. So in that case, you need to click on this key icon here and then enter your password, or use the touchpad if you wish to. In this case, I'm just going to enter the password for my MacBook and click unlock. and then you'll be able to approve the installation of the VirtualBox, and make sure that the second option here is selected, that is App Store and Identify Developers. And that's the only thing I want to mention here in addition. And then you have to go back and rerun the installation again. I'm going to reboot my MacBook and I'll be back with you. I am back. I've rebooted my MacBook. Now let's go to Launchpad and open VirtualBox. I'll search for VirtualBox and click on it. There you go. This is our VirtualBox. Optionally, you may install VirtualBox extension pack, which allows your host device USB to be used in the virtual environment. It also lets you use the webcam on the guest OS. Personally, I like to keep things isolated in the virtual environment. I don't even have a USB port on my MacBook, and many devices these days don't, though you can use a USB adapter. So, I won't install the VirtualBox extension pack, not because I don't have USB port on my MacBook, but because I really want to keep things isolated, and I don't need to extend my camera to the VM and things like that. But I will show you how to do it, just in case you want to do it. Let's go back to VirtualBox website and download the extension pack. I'll go back to Safari. If you scroll down to VirtualBox extension pack section, you will see the hyperlink to download the extension. So I'm just going to click here and download it. Let's go back to our VirtualBox. All you need to install the extension pack is just to click on the preferences. Under extensions, you'll see a little blue and green icon here. Click on it. Over here, you will see the extension pack to download it. Just double click on it. You can extend your USB, your host camera, and so on. If you want to install it, you just need to click the install button. But for me, I don't want to install it, so I'm just going to cancel out of here. It's simple. That said, we can add VM from here. Any VM, it can be Linux, it can be Windows. I don't want this video to be too long, so I will end the video here, and I'm going to make part 2 of this video, in which I will show you how to install Kali Linux. Kali Linux is a flavor of Debian that we're going to be using for our ethical hacking. Thanks for watching. See you in part 2 of this series. Please subscribe, like, and share this video.